What's going on, guys? Wei and Banu from Revolution. How are you?
Guys?
Here with a legend from the watch industry, Sven Andersen. Mr. Andersen, how are you, sir?
Well, good. After four day of our exceptional exhibition here, I feel good.
Wonderful.
No, I think that look around, it's just packed here at AHCI. I think the response has been fantastic. This is the time to be an independent watchmaker.
Banu, for you, why do you think independent watch brands are blowing up in such a huge way right now?
Well, I think because the big brands are unable to provide. It's a supply-demand issues, and I think people are discovering that you can get the similar level, if not more, from independent brands, and that's what is blowing that up.
For me, it's independent brands about three things. Singularity, so what they make, only they make. Authenticity, their stories are incredibly authentic. And humanity, because they're about real human beings that you can meet at the fair, become friends with, have a drink with, and develop a relationship with, which is maybe a little bit harder in bigger brands, right? Sven, tell us your story, sir.
Well, I started apprenticeship with 15 as a watchmaker. Now I am near to 80, so you can...
You look fantastic.
Okay. And then I made an apprenticeship at watch repair in Denmark, and with 21 I said I will go to Switzerland and see how watches are made there. And now I learned how to make watches. You see where I am now. I started in Switzerland to work in the retail stores because I could speak English at that moment, and it was very demanded.
Okay.
Because of the American tourists at that period in the 1960s. And also they paid almost twice as they paid in the factories.
Very pragmatic of you. Yes.
Yes. And from Gubelin, end of the 60s, I made something very special. I put a clock into a bottle. And this behind, by side of my work by Gubelin. And this novelty went around the world at that moment within 1 week. It was before internet, so you must...
Of course, yeah.
It was picked up by Geneva newspaper, Swiss radio, Swiss television.
Amazing.
And Reuters news agency, and we got letters from all over the world. I get the nickname, the watchmaker of the impossible.
That's a good name.
Were you doing the watchmaking while you were working at the retail? Were you managing the two, or did you then decide, okay, now it's time to become full-time watchmaker?
No, it was interesting. It was a good apprenticeship to be in the retail shops, to have contact to the customers.
Okay.
Because I see watches they have been worn. I could speak to customers and know what they really desired. And it was a very good apprenticeship, which many of my colleagues do not have. They come just from the school and then they start to work their watches. And you have also many modern watches today. They are designed by designers who never had in their hands a watch which has been worn by somebody, used and damaged, if you could say so. So they are not able to create watches which are wearable, which are really agreeable, as we say in French, to wear.
So what was your very first, after the clock, when you built that impossible clock, as you said?
Yeah.
What was your first big watch when you decided, okay, I'm...
Well, okay, with the bottle clock that's opened me the doors to the Patek Philippe.
Okay.
They asked me, cross the road, come to us, and then I came into the upper, the atelier, the complication, the atelier of complications.
Right.
And I was working there also together one colleague, it was Roger Dubuis. He was working with me there also. He was already there when I started.
Incredible.
And I stayed 9 years by Patek Philippe.
Okay.
And then in the 70s you had the crisis, the quartz crisis there. everybody was told the mechanical watch is out, finished, and nobody wanted the mechanical watch anymore. And you know that you have learned the disaster it was. And I had with the bottle clock, I was also introduced to the circle of collectors, the world of collectors. The collectors at that moment was not what are collectors today. They are more close, more secret, more familiar of collectors. And then one day a collector came with a very complicated pocket watch movement, because the gold case had been lost in former crisis and so. And he said, when you can put a clock into a bottle, can you not make me a gold case for this movement?
Right.
But I had no idea, but I started to study, and it was with a case maker who was still able to make pocket watch cases, but it was not so easy, not data. And then I started to make pocket watch cases by end of the 70s, and then we had so many orders that we started together in 80.
Okay.
And the first 4 years of my independence was especially to make and reconstruct pocket watch cases, complicated pocket watch for complicated movements, everything. And then and so I started with the.
Wonderful. Sven, when did we see here a beautiful world time watch with some extraordinary lugs that remind us of maybe some old Pateks as well.
Yeah.
And we see a very beautiful jump hour watch here. What would you say are your signature aesthetics and signature complications as a watchmaker?
Well, the signature is still somewhere the signature of the watchmaker of the impossible, if we could say so, because we are not aware to try something new. You see the watch in Cappadocia, you already saw this, or you have it here? Okay.
Thank you very much.
This one here, it was made for a collector in Singapore, and he ordered 7 such watches. For his friends.
Nice.
And they wanted we should do something very special. But indeed, it was also crazy because Pierre Alexander, my colleague who will take over the company now, and he could organize this order because he could not travel, we could not travel, and the customer could not travel. So this model was really established by video conference and design.
Zoom meetings and
Zoom meetings and so it was amazing.
Sven, am I correct that this is a world time watch with one crown for the time indication and another crown for the
city ring?
And they're so recessed into the case though.
Well, that's the customer who asked it. He asked for that. Because it's an automatic wound watch, you don't really not have to wind it, so that's his idea about that.
And they function just like normal crowns, and you can.
But you can wind it also.
Yes,
you can wind it also.
Wow.
And enamel cloisonné dial, yes, about 10 meters of thin wires.
Exactly.
And outside, for the city ring, you have a aventurine stone ring.
Very nice.
And this has never been used inside a watch like this.
Fantastic.
Until now.
I have to say that the shape of your cases, the lugs, are beautiful. They remind me of like a François Bourgel case or something.
And here we have the very special convex attached also.
Yeah, it's polished lugs, brushed sides.
Very difficult to make, very difficult to polish.
Yes.
So we have, again, we go to the perfect perfect experts for everything.
Right.
To cut out this ring, we have is the company in Germany who is doing that.
So here. Thank you very much. And maybe you can tell us a little bit about this execution of the world timer.
That's the most classic we have. We started with this many years ago. And also here we have the blue gold dial in there. The blue gold is also our special. Nobody else has blue gold on as dials. Here the normal metal city ring, the 24-hour ring. And here you have you set this ring with this crown, you wind the watch with the other crown. And here we have also aquamarine stones. No, isn't. Yes.
Beautiful.
Stone set bezel. And on the other side, we have the open. We have
That's the officer's case back there.
Yeah, and here again our blue gold automatic winding rotor.
Very beautiful.
The movement is very well finished. And this is what we say, an exotic movement. It's a movement which was made in the 1980s. And it's a very solid, very good movement. And so we avoid to have AHCI or something movements that everybody can buy.
Right. What was the original caliber?
That's named an RS. RS. This is
A-shield movement.
Yeah.
Okay.
A-shield movement. Yes.
Okay.
And maybe we can take a look at
the jump hour. I think this. I love the geisha dial and the jump hour complication of this.
Yeah. And here we have again the blue gold dial with the exceptional engine turning. Gear shift.
The gear shift, that's beautiful.
And this the gear shift who is also really one of the best gear shifts today. And he created this gear shift for us. Beautiful. You will not see it anywhere else. Not too
it's a very lovely pattern actually. The pattern is very unique.
Yeah, and now here is not the good light, but when you are at daylight, at a little sunshine, you do the watch. It's amazing.
Stunning, right?
Yeah, amazing.
And I have to say, your watches are so beautiful.
Yeah. Now we do a lot of artwork. That's our specialty and all that.
Very nice.
And this was made in limited edition for the anniversary?
Yes, for the 40 years. In 2020, I started in 1980. So.
Sven, you mentioned you were going to pass the company over to your colleague. What does that mean to you in terms of the continuity of your name?
Today?
You're going to pass the leadership of your company over to Pierre?
Yes. Because I will be 80 years old this year, so I have to leave.
You look fine to me.
And now I am still there to learn the young watchmakers how to do and to help them to continue the brand.
Amazing.
I am proud also that
to pass on your skills to the next generation. It's time
pass
to
on my skills, and also very proud also of Pierre Alexander that he could get an order like this with that he could contact the collector like this and get. So we.
If you're watching this and you're in Singapore,
we will
we're gonna
stay.
Crown.
So we can stay on the good level we are now.
Yes.
Because if I had sold it to somebody who would be more business, maybe the quality would drop, and that's not the case.
No. We see Pierre Alexander visiting different countries. I've seen him in the US. I've seen him in other places. I think he's a great spokesperson for your brand.
Thank you very much, Sven.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you so much.